So now that we've played with shading and a little bit of texture, some cross-hatching and stuff, now we're going to kind of apply that. We've looked at the egg and we've looked at different things where a light source is. So by adding that to a very flat drawing, we can add a little oomph to it. So I've drawn some basic shapes. I've tried to make them three-dimensional. So for instance, I've got a pyramid here. This is a circle, which is going to be an orb in a minute because of the shading we do. With each one, I'm going to apply a different light source. So for instance, this one, I might make the light source over here. For this one, maybe I will make the light source to the side. And I'll change it, and we'll talk about that as we go. Now, if you're worried about trying to draw these guys, then use your perspective, which you've just learned. So in this case, this guy's a nice 2-point perspective. So, draw the 2-point perspective. Does not have to be perfect. And there we have a box, right? Now, if you want to do this guy in perspective, we'll do one over here. So we'll do 2 points again. Now, they're going to be small objects. I just want you to have a bunch of them on a page, like the ones in the PDFs. So in this case, I'm just going to go to a corner for this guy, because it's not an up and down shape, right? If this were a square, it'd be up this way, right? So this is what we can do here. We can sort of do our square, make it as square looking as possible. Now what we didn't do here, we're gonna make it translucent so we see where the bottom of the box is. So you can see where your center is, right? So these are edges. Whoops. If this gets confusing, get your ruler out. So there's a center here. So that's your center. So it looks a little confusing because it's almost perfectly in line with this guy. And then we can erase. And I'm trying a new dust-free eraser. We'll see how dust-free this thing is. There you go. You've got a pyramid. All right. Maybe I'll do another one just to make it easier. I'll do another one over here. So we do the horizon line. We do the 2 points. We find a point. It can be anywhere over here. I'll do it over here a little more this time. All right. And I want it to be square. So I'm creating my base. So I want this to be about the same. I want it to appear the same distance as this, right? So then I find my center, right? Oh, that's even easier. Yep, few ways you can do that. So erase some of these guys. There you go. Okay, light source. So we're going to have this as an orb. It's not a perfect circle. Maybe it's a snowball, The light source is here, which means this is going to be the lightest part of it right here. And the darkest part of it will be over here. In this case, I'm just using my B pencil. I'm going to do some shading. Now, the next decision, and you can do a bunch of these if you want, is this sitting on the ground or is it sitting off the ground? If it's off the ground, the shadow, or the shadow which is cast from the object, might be, or will be, a distance away from the ball. And it will be won't be a perfect round. Something like that. Now the closer the light is to it, the more severe the shadow will be at the edges. All right. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. So the light would be here, light side. Things will gradually get darker at the back. Right. I'm going to play with this guy, my black 199. So my light source is behind it, sort of back that way. And then this will be dark. And of course the light source is above it, so you might be wondering, okay, what do you do? Because you kind of don't see like this mark here on the, the brightest part of your piece may not be seen. So you want to play with some shading. The space behind it might have some color, or shading. Okay, so let's play with a pen on my cube. And I think I'll make the light source way up above it. I'm just going to draw it here, but it's way up above. So that means this will be light. These two sides over here, I'm going to add some texture in here. It's a very light blue. Because it's so high and so bright, it's going to be a little darker at the bottom. Not just going to be like a flat. So I'm putting a little more pressure at the bottom when I go this way. It doesn't necessarily like this paper very much, I don't think. And I think it would cast a shadow here. Look, fairly square. Nope, see now I'm getting all smudgy. Because the light's so far away, the shadow that it's casting isn't going to be that dark. In this case, I put the light very close, and I didn't cast a shadow, did I? I think the shadow would be very close. Now, when I'm drawing something that matters deeply to me, I will take a piece of paper, just like a 8.5 by 11 printer sheet, say, or whatever I've got, and I run my hand along the paper so I don't smudge like I have here. If you want to smudge, you want it to be controlled, right? And I think I'll use my ink for the pyramid, and then I think the light source should be maybe on this side, up high. So there's my, to remind me where it is, up high though. So if this guy had bricks, I mean, you've probably seen some of these on TV or online. They're pretty linear. And they might give the impression that there's a bit of a grid. From a distance. Everything has sort of an interesting texture in life. So what you're doing when you're using ink or pencil or anything is you're just trying to get the impression, the feel of it on your paper. Some of them at a great distance just look so smooth, and some of them don't, the more rougher ones. There. Just for kicks. And once you get to know your tools, once you get to know what you like to use the most as well, you get a feel for how you want your drawings to look and feel when you're done. You'll know what tools to use. Now, if this pyramid over here, let's say the sun's going down here, got a nice sort of, then this would be very dark. This would just be a little bit. And then I might want to pull out my other markers. Or, no, yeah, I want a marker. So, I don't need to make it necessarily black. You can have fun with pencils and black markers together. Right. Use something lighter, which would be the, oh, I really like these gray tips. Here. See how much depth that adds, and then you can go and do that here too. You can do that with pencil, do that with this. Gives you a different feel, doesn't it? Yeah. So I want you to have some fun with your tools, with what you've got, and add some light source shading and casting. Have some fun.